just not telling you all. As we gather, as our people gather, whether it be ceremonies or whether it be celebrations, and whether it be just a family gathering within the teepee or something like that, we all gather and we all give thanks to the Great Spirit, all of creation. We always offer up a word of prayer or a song of prayer. So that's what we're going to do before we get our little presentation done for you. So this song, it says, help me with all I need all the help you can give. Great Spirit, look down upon us as we walk upon the other. The song is spiritual world at one time, with all of creation, all the animals, and all the birds, and everything that the Great Spirit created. He made this place over here, this beautiful Mother Earth. He told the creation that this is where we're going to have to be, and where we're going to have to walk in harmony with one another. All the animals, the wama, kashkon, all the ones that swim in water, that live in the water, all the ones that fly, and all the two-legged that are going to walk together upon this earth in harmony with one another. But when we were in that spiritual world, and the Great Spirit created this one, so he told all the creation that we're going to have to come over here. So all the animals started to go into this hole, into the spirit world, from that hole. And then as they walked by, the buffalo, mighty Katanka, the buffalo walked by. So the native put his hand on the back of this buffalo and started to walk and went into the ground. They said it was really dark, but so far off in the distance it was a light. And everybody was making their way up to this light. And whenever we walked out with our hand on the back of a buffalo, we walked out into the opening, we say we came through. Wind cave with black hills. That's our creation story. From the spirit world to this world. That's how we came to this world. The history books and all this kind of stuff say we came across Bering Straits and all that kind of stuff. There was never once a story like that amongst our people, for generation to generation to generation. There was a people, they called them the First Nations. They're part Navajo, part Dene. There is documented history from them coming across that Bering Straits. But for the rest of the natives, they have their own creation story. But anyway, after we came out of the hole with the buffalo and all the creation, we started to follow the buffalo throughout. We utilized the buffalo for our clothing. We utilized the hides for our teepees. We even utilized all the bones for the scraping of the buffalo hides to make our clothing, to make the drum things. So as we follow these, then we pay attention to how to walk upon Mother Nature in a good way. Our men folk, when they come in at a celebration, they have the wisdom. They're our leaders, they're our people. So they do these certain dances. So this dance we're going to show you is called a Min's traditional dance. for the reason of that the Great Spirit gave them the ability to bring life onto Mother Earth as they walk. So with that blessing the Great Spirit gave them, we hold it highly amongst our people. They even had women's societies that helped to make decisions for the whole tribe. The women voiced their concerns to their husband. Their husband went to the council meetings. But the council teepee, the concerns that the women and the men had, we made decisions together as a whole for the whole tribe. So again, this next dance is called a women's traditional dance. Sage, sweetgrass, a little bit of chonshasha, we call it. It's a traditional native tobacco. They use this and they go and they ceremony the grounds where everybody's going to camp. Everybody's going to camp. They offer a little bit of prayer there. And then they send the warriors in. They call them grass dancers. They actually go and they ceremony the ground. They actually stomp down the grass. They actually portray a piece of grass more than the wind. This is called a grass dance, ladies and gentlemen. all the buffalo meat. Maybe on the horse raiding party when they brought back the ponies, we would make this big celebration circle. And after everybody starts to celebrate and enjoy the meal that's being provided and stuff like this, the warriors, the chiefs, they would come out of their teepees. They would have their big war bonnets on. Some of them even went down to the ground. These great big war bonnets, they were dressed in their most finest regalia that they could have. And they start to walk into the ceremony, this celebration arena. When that happened, they said the people made way, the children made way for them to come through. They said they're the ones that had the knowledge of where the points of where the good buffalo hunting grounds were, where the elk hid within the Black Hills. They're the ones that carried the wisdom and the knowledge of how to walk in a proper manner in harmony upon others. So this next dance is called the Chief's Dance. Traditionally, they danced around and we made that honor for them. Our young ladies, they come out in their most finest regalia, and they present themselves in a proud manner of who they are and what they represent to our people. So the young warriors kind of check them out, like, give them that time to check out. But at that same time, it's not only the thing, but it's how they represent our people with the beauty of who they represent. As this young Indian maiden walks upon this young man follows. One day they become intertwined with one another, like two blue jays flying up in the air, and they come together as one. They represent the beauty of our people. It's called a jingle dress dance. So when you go to a powwow and you see a certain dance that they're doing, and you'll know exactly what that dance is being done for. The grass dance, the jingle dress dance, the fancy shawl, the traditional men's dance, the chief's dance. You'll see all of these at the powwow when you go to powwows. I just want to share a story with you all. A long time ago, they said our people were getting ready to move from one camp to the next. All these people were getting ready. The lady folk were putting the travois on the pony's back. And as they started to move to the next camp, all these people were going. There was this old man, old elderly man. He had a stick. He was walking with the people. He got so far and he was tired. So he went and he sat down on the log. people who were walking by. And people were walking by. And out of all the people that were walking by, just a little boy, a little child, turned around and looked back and see Grandpa sitting on one of the logs there. So he turned around and he went running back over there to Grandpa. He went over there and he grabbed Grandpa by the finger. Grabbed him by the finger and he started to pull him. He was saying, now's the time, grandfather, come on. He was saying, when the grandfather was sitting there, he felt bad. He said, I can't help you, grandson. I can't help you no more, grandson. Now, I can't do anything. I can't go find the mighty buffalo. I can't go find the elk. I can't help you anymore. The grandson was standing there pulling on his grandfather, trying to get him to stand up. And he was starting to cry. The grandson started to cry too. He said, come on, Grandpa, come on. And the grandpa was looking at his grandson. And the grandson said, come on, Grandpa, you can help our people. You carry the wisdom. You carry all the right ways of living upon Mother Earth, showing us, you could show us how to live in harmony in Mother Nature, where all the beautiful sights are throughout creation. You could lead us to those places. You got the white hair with all this wisdom that you have, just like the eagle that flies above. And then the grandfather, he reached over and he got his cane. He thought about what his grandson was saying. He got his cane. He stood up, grabbed his grandson's hand, and he started to walk. And he started to walk to the people. So they say amongst our people, whenever the children are small, little ones, all the way up to maybe 7, 8 years old, they still communicate with the Creator. They can still make that communication. In our language, they call it wakaya. The word wakaya means sacred. So we call them the sacred ones, all the little children. But whenever that's that way, and then our elderly, they have all this wisdom that they were blessed with from the Great Spirit. They carry this with them. And at the same time, they're getting closer and closer to the spirit world. That's the reason why you see all the grandpas hanging around with their grandsons, all the granddaughters hanging around with the grandmas. It's not only because grandma has a whole bunch of money in her big purse, or because grandma has a big fat wallet, but it's because the love that was shared, because they're both close to the Great Spirit. They're both close to the Great Spirit on either side, the young and the old. So they always go around together. Grandpas and grandmas, young children, they always hang around, they have fun with each other, they love each other. That's what our people share, the love they did. So that's a story that was handed from generation to generation. I hope you understood that. Okay? Okay, we're going to do what they call a traditional intertribal dance. Maybe I could get one or two people to help us out here. You don't really have to do a dance, just to get one or two people up here. What about the lady standing back here? Yes, come on. What about the young man with the red hat there? You can come on in. Come on over, sir. All right, you got another one. How about a round of applause for these? All right. Okay. Whatever the dancers doing, how their steps are going, just go ahead and copy them. Let's celebrate together, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Hey, go! Come on. time. I know you all traveling down the roads and stuff like this, but I want to thank the driver here. You good guys. Don't worry about them and all the rest of you. At this time, I want to present my good friend here, Cheery. She's going to let you know about us.
Thank you. I think these two deserve another round of applause. Thank you. We are Lakota Ways. We Ogallala Lakota present here, actually host here for all Northern Great Plains tribes to come and sell, interact, and share their tribal indigenous culture of the region. We are the people of Crazy Horse, just a little name. Have you heard of them? Just a little bit. And also another great who happens to be the great-grandfather of Darrow Red Cloud here. His name is Chief Red Cloud, like that. So, and then of course Black Elk, who is also from Wounded Knee District, and this guy's also relative to Black Elk himself. So we're so grateful that you can come and share on our terms who we really are as people. Thank you so much. We'll get to that. And did you tell we're not very quiet? When we have a good time, we like to, when we get down. So we have these sounds that the men mimic, the warriors mimic. When we're going in for the kill on the hunt, or right before we count coup in battle, or trying to land the girl we're trying to date, all the proper ways, and the sound goes a little something like this. Yeah, it's called an akisha throughout the show. That's exactly what you heard. So I want to ask you to also make that sound too. On the count of 3, men especially. 1, 2, 3. One person! I know there's more warriors here. All right, that's what I'm talking about. Yes, now on the way out, please feel free to leave a contribution. We are a non-profit. Please feel free, thank you. Anyway, so, everyone's leaving. Okay, one more sound for the ladies, and then we'll probably close. The sound that we make, that you heard me say is lit. Ladies, can you say that? All right, on the count of 3, everybody, okay? 1, 2, 3. Good job. Thank you so much for coming. On the way out, we have here our donation pail. We are a nonprofit. We do not get paid for what we do. We just like to share. And so we ask if you have a contribution that you would love to make sacred with us, please feel free to do that with us. You can take pictures, and also we love to shake hands. That's the proper Lakota way to start and end any meeting. Thank you so much, everybody. You can take